Hello guys, it's been a very long time, but in this video I would like just to share with you two things that we observed while implementing a no-dig market garden here in south of France, which they just come with experience. Nobody really taught us this. So first thing is that if you start from a prairie with very strong spontaneous grasses like rhizomes, as couch grass or horsetail or bindweed, those are just gonna go through your compost and cardboard. So here we started. We made a very beautiful beds in these. These are gonna be 2, 3 lines, and in between we have 3 beds, garden beds, and they were beautifully made with cardboard. So for those who don't know how no dig works, means like we don't work the soil with a machine or with a broad fork. We just come put cardboard and 15 centimeters of compost on top, and we plant directly in it. But these grasses that are very strong, especially couch grass that has rhizomes that are very pointy, they just go through the wet cardboard very easily. And after a while, after some months, in June it starts really like pumping up, and it completely colonized back the bed. And I just abandoned everything because it's too much work. There's nothing I can do. In some parts I kept the plants, like for example here the aubergine, I just mulched a bit, and they're still doing fine because they were already installed, let's say. But so yes, if you want to start an no-dig garden, one idea it would be to tarp it for a season. Tarp it like with a plastic tarp or with just dry cardboard for a season, so that these plants don't have, they're not allowed to photosynthesis, and so to store energy in the roots. So yes, that's one thing. And the second thing is that in the dry climate, as it is in Mediterranean climate, the compost during the heat during the summer, it dries up very easily. And once it's really dried up, it's like waterproof. It cannot absorb water very quickly. Actually, it's just like a very hard matted carpet where roots completely dry out. So no dig comes from England, where there's a lot of rain and it's quite moist throughout the year. And we've seen that it works fantastic during spring, during autumn, when there's constant rains and it moistens everywhere. While in summer, things just stagnate, don't thrive, and even die. So most of these beds, I abandoned them because uh, even if I was watering like as much as I could, the water would go just like completely down where the drip line was. It wouldn't really like by capillarity move. So a solution for that, in our experience in this climate, well, would be one to mulch with hay, with straw. But if you cannot do that everywhere, if you have a big surface, it's also not so practical. One thing for us, we've seen it works when the soil is a bit mixed with the compost. So we have a lot of mice and they work for us. They are our diggers. And there where they move the native soil on the surface and the compost on the bottom, and it's all mixed in, the plants all throughout the year, they're just like really growing very good. Because the water moves by capillarity really far away, while with the compost it just stays there and just goes down, and the compost it just becomes waterproof. So one solution for us is like it's not really no dig, then it becomes like a slightly dig in the beginning to mix a bit the compost um, with the native soil, and then put a layer of compost on top so that you don't have any weed seeds germinating, and you don't have that crust of the soil forming. So this is for us a solution that we have for now. It might change in a year or in a few years. So it's just an observation that you might be maybe interested to hear if you want to start this. So yes, and another solution for this, that we want to work with this because we don't want to, we're gonna tarp some areas, but we like also to experiment working with the natural succession of grasses. So instead of keeping these 3 beds, we're gonna sow a green manure for winter, cut the grass, so let the green manure grow during winter. In this is gonna be rye in this case, and pulse it, so cut it 2 or 3 times in April, May, and then use organic matter to make one bed in the center, plant pumpkins or watermelons, and just use those grasses to for mulching and for organic matter. So yes, we will see how that goes, and we're here to learn. Thank you for watching.